I think I found the perfectly balanced case. Uh, let's just get into it. So, what has been arguably one of the craziest years in existence, I made a huge mistake. I was really wanting to show off this case well, and I put way too many RGB fans in it, and I had way too many cables to manage, and yeah, mistakes were made. But that's okay, because I feel like RGB is always somehow worth it. But I have the SilverStone Seta A1, and guys, like I said, I think I just found the perfectly balanced case. Now, is it the best case ever? Well, if you're looking for something balanced, yes. If you're looking for something that is great for reviewing, well, maybe it doesn't have everything that a reviewer needs. If you are looking for something that has all the craziest features or the best cable management or the best this or best that, no, it's not going to be the best at probably anything. But if you're looking for a case that is going to be a perfect fit for most any build that you can imagine for your average builders out there who are just building your average PCs, yeah, this guy is going to go for miles. Let me just talk first off and say the building process in this case was just phenomenal. I could not find one mistake. I jammed a 360 millimeter radiator in the front, and yeah, I mean it's might be considered. I mean, Silverstone made sure the cutout was good enough. It actually supports it well with room and flexibility. I'm like, huh, my motherboard fit great. It didn't feel like a tight fit. I didn't have trouble reaching my CPU power connector through the little cable management slots. I didn't have trouble reaching my bottom connectors in the bottom slots. And I'm looking at this case thinking, okay, it's doing really good. Well, like I mentioned, I put way too many RGB things in here. And if there's one problem with RGB, it's too many freaking wires. But, you know, we kind of have to accept that for now until they come out with wireless RGB, people. Wireless RGB. I mean, in other words, one power connector and then a Bluetooth or such connection so that we can control the RGB without that extra cable. But anyway, I digress. Lots of wires. I had two separate control boxes and a fan hub in there. And when I went to put that back panel on, and I'm using ribbon cables. Ribbon cables on the Silverstone power supply, and that back panel just slid right on. Also because Silverstone designed the panels perfectly. I mean, oh my gosh. They didn't do those goofy little slide things. The slide things are so antiquated. Basically, there's like a little bit of a notch that grabs into the front, and you don't have to actually slide the panel in flush. You can push the front in at an angle and then drop the panel down and screw it in. Guys, it was just a super easy build. And if you're looking for a case that you want to have a super easy time building in and has lots of compatibility for just the overall average case, components out there, this guy is the ticket. My graphics card was definitely borderline. Now, I have a GTX 980 Ti in there, and with the front 360 millimeter radiator, it was a little tight. My R9 290Xs that I have would actually not quite fit with a radiator in there, but if you take the radiator out and you use like a normal tower CPU cooler, you won't have problems if you happen to have one of those extra long cards. But my 980 Ti is pretty long, and it still accommodates a long graphics card with a closed loop cooler that is mounted in the front. I just wow. So the only problem that you might have with the case is it going to have airflow? Well, this is where Silverstone really knocked it out of the park. Now, if you want ultimate airflow, best of the best airflow, then yeah, you need to get a mesh front panel that gives as much unrestricted airflow while still having a little bit of dust control that you can get. When you put a flat panel in front of something, yes, you are going to restrict airflow to some degree. However, Silverstone does not believe in restricting airflow. They left a nice, huge gap between the front panel and the two 200mm fans that are in there. Yes, it will not be quite as good as a mesh, but it's going to be pretty darn close. And the trade-off, you get this gorgeous, very nicely accentuated RGB design with this beautiful brushed aluminum front panel. It looks gorgeous. And I can't remember if it's actually aluminum. I'm pretty positive it is. But the look, even if it wasn't, looks just as good. And it's elegant. It's an elegant case. The tempered glass side panel is phenomenal. And I mean, even pulling off the plastic cover, like the plastic protection wrap sticky stuff that they put on there, I've had some where you're like, just trying to yank it off as hard as you can, and it's ripping on you, or you're worried you're going to shatter your glass because you're putting so much torque into it. And these ones just slid right off. I was like, wow, thank you. Thank you for not putting this super sticky glue on something that we're all going to pull off and it just needs to get us through shipping. It looks like our MSRP is like $130 for this case. Now, we're still having issues, right? This has not been the year to have good luck with cases. But at $130, this case is priced at just where it needs to be. Cases have gone up in price. I don't think we're going to see budget cases that aren't complete trash and throwaway in the 50s anymore. 75 is kind of like your budget realm, and 100 to 125, 130 is pretty good mid-range. And I believe that SilverStone owns every ounce of quality it needs for that. This case is it's solid. It doesn't have any flexibility or bend in it. It builds like a dream come true. And it looks amazing. Like, I love the design. It looks fantastic. Just elegant and professional, but still having just enough of that RGB and glass panel accent to give it that little bit of gamer flair. Guys, if I was going to recommend one case that I would say, look it, this is the one case I'd recommend. I don't know what your parts are. I don't know what your build is going to be. But if I had to take one guess and say, well, I've got to recommend this one case that could possibly fit everyone, yeah, this one. SilverStone Seta A1. They did an amazing job. I've done a lot of cases, and I don't think I've ever found a case that balanced out ease of build, cable management space, good airflow, good price, while looking like, it looks like a $200 case. It just looks way more expensive than it actually is. Guys, this is the one. Just grab it. Okay, you know what? Check your needs. Make sure you got a case that you need. So I can't really say that. But if I was going to recommend one as a general, all-around, going to fit everyone and has a good balanced perfection of performance and price and looks, yeah, it's this one. I love it. That's all I've got for that. I'm going to try to keep these short and sweet. So, guys, of course, like and subscribe, and just, leave a comment if you want to. Hopefully, if some of you guys can help out with that, that's great. I have been trying to barely keep up with my reviews. So sorry that I don't get to a lot of comments, but will do the best that I can. So, yeah, let me know what you think of this case, though, and let other people know. If you've built in it and you had the same experience I did, hey, let us know in the comments. I'm sure it can help other buyers out there who are looking and trying to make a decision on a purchase. Guys, this has been the Hardware Hound. I'll catch you later.